Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video we're going to be doing another love predictions and finding out what happens next. As I have promised, I'm going to be doing this monthly because love changes, whether it be somebody new you're with or the current relationship is developing, whatever it is that the cards want you to know or to talk about, we're going to be answering in today's video. We have 4 different groups, and I actually have the cards picked off to the side, but something told me that we should be doing just only crystals. Keep it, clear and simple, and you're gonna pick whatever crystal you resonate with most. If you can believe it or not, this is actually, in fact, rose quartz. It's an extremely pale pink rose quartz. It looks pure white on video, but I promise you, it is. And I don't know if you know this, but rose quartz can come in many different hues, and the fact that it's more pale doesn't take away from its potency in the least. I sincerely mean that. So this is over here a rose quartz. This is a red desert jasper. This is a pink opal, and this is sea foam calcite. All of them are beneficial for love and have special properties, but I'm gonna let you go and follow your heart and pick the one you resonate with most. Let me give you a moment to do so. Now that you have, you can go down to the description where you can skip to your designated timestamp and group, but let's get started with group number 1. Let's look at your love predictions and find out what happens next by looking at the cards. We have, this is group 1, right? Oh my gosh, rose quartz, rose quartz. Okay, well, that is a very important message, clearly, reading loud and clear. Your oracle card is commitment in reverse. Your tarot cards are temperance, upright. Ace of swords, upright. The chariot in reverse. King of swords in reverse. And 2 of swords upright. What are they not telling you? I'm surprised I'm not getting any secret cards, like there's a secret they're keeping. There's some sort of wall. They're not telling you something. Okay, I always do this. I always jump ahead of the game too fast. Let's go through this together. So I can tell in the Temperance card and the Chariot card, you have been at this for a while. I just want to point out, you've been bringing the best energy to the situation. You've been approaching your partner with love and patience and being gentle and kind. You're good. You're fine. I just want to make this absolutely clear that going forward, you are doing everything fine. It's them. It really is not you in this situation. But it seems like you've been waiting for things to progress, and they haven't been. There's some sort of wall, and I want to clarify there is a wall as in it could progress, it should progress, there's something inside them that would like it to progress. It's not all in your head, but for whatever reason, they themselves can't get past their own wall they're putting up. That's why I said I'm surprised. It just feels like they're holding back something from you. But if it's any sort of reassurance, I'm not getting the type of cards I would get if they were being sneaky. I am going to pull some more cards to look into this 2 of Swords, because 2 of Swords can potentially mean there's another party involved in this situation. I just don't feel like that's the problem or that's happening. We're going to check just to make sure. But if it's any sort of reassurance or comforting, it feels like this is more internal on them. Especially when I see the rose quartz more reassuring to you and you picking rose quartz, and we're going to get into that in a moment. So anyways, Temperance. You've been doing this a while, you've been really patient with them, but the big thing that's going to happen in your relationship is you putting your foot down and saying, especially with the King of Swords over here and the Ace of Swords going, listen, let's talk about this. I want to know what's happening. You tell me what's on your mind, I'll tell you what's on my mind. Let's just be unfiltered and, get down to the bottom of this, especially with Temperance being ruled by Jupiter being directly next to Ace of Swords. Jupiter is all about expansion, but specifically expanding by knowing more and specifically knowing the truth, not just information, the truth. They feel like the more they're kind of woke or self-aware of their environment, the more they can grow. There's an optimistic vibe by it, I do want to point out. But this Ace of Swords acting as the kind of point of view saying, hey, listen, I want to have this conversation. This is where the wall comes up. This is the reaction, the Chariot. The Chariot is when two partners almost feel like they're at the point where it feels like some sort of separation or breakup. You know, you're not spending as much time together, you're not talking as much. Maybe they even stop talking to you altogether at the moment, and this is kind of the situation you're in right now, and we're kind of getting into more of a future thing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, it feels like as you reach out to them, they pull away. But something to note here with the Chariot is the Chariot is not definitive of the end. That's something really important here. It's not definitive, it's the beginning either, but it's when two people are acting like they're separated, but it's not quite over yet. Again, it's a bit of an ominous ending. It doesn't necessarily mean good or bad, especially I'm getting more of an ominous meaning as time goes on, but they pull away because they're afraid of the truth. That gets extended here with the King of Swords. Again, this is being like, listen, let's have the truth, let's be honest. This is also a very mature perspective from you. This is you saying, listen, I want to see the bigger picture. I'm going to look at it not from just somebody who might deal with whatever you have to share, but see it from almost like a third party, objective third party, and understand your perspective, my perspective. I'm going to be mature about this. So again, you're going to have the best attitude possible with them, and yet we get the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is their sort of closed off. I mean, honestly, Two of Swords to me is a stubborn card. It's like a big wall of like, I'm not going to budge, I'm not going to change my mind. So in a way, it's almost like this feeling of an end because, well, I'm sure you would like to progress, and if they keep saying to you, we're not going to progress because I don't want to share this, that might be the end to you. Again, this is not definitive of anyone's breaking up. I see no card saying that's going to be the case. This is going to be more on what you feel comfortable with. Are you okay them not allowing you in? Do you want to still keep going with this? This is your decision and choice. We are going to get to this in a moment. But I want to take a second to pull a few cards because I just want to make absolutely sure there is not another person arrive. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. Let's see. Is there somebody else? What's going on with this Two of Swords? Okay, so there isn't. Well, the Five of Pentacles and the Rose Quartz and the Temperance. Yeah, you are just a little lovey-dove, and I love that about you. You are a sweetheart. I'll tell you right now, they're afraid. I'm so sorry, I'm still getting vagueness. It's like I can just tell you this. They're afraid of change. Something about letting you in, like the act of letting you in and being honest, is where the wall is up. They're not hiding something from you. They're just afraid of being open. And it looks like it's a problem for them in all of their relationships, and I'm including friendships in this. They're kind of almost being tested by the universe right now, especially with the Judgment cards. Like, you're their test for them. It's like, this is their opportunity. You're the right person for them to open up to. This is their moment when they can share and be themselves, and they're just so afraid. They cannot do it. They cannot break this cycle. They're terrified. I do want to hold on to this Five of Pentacles, though, as we dig deeper into the other cards, because we're going to go into a little more details of what happens next just so hold on with me for 1 second. So Rose Quartz and the Commitment card in reverse kind of just says it all. Commitment card in reverse is a warning from your spirit guides that this is not the person to dedicate yourself to. Usually comes up as an ominous omen because not committing to someone could be for a variety of reasons. But in particular, they want to focus on the fact that this person has kind of got so many issues they're dealing with, it's going to kind of bog you down. It's not somewhere where you can grow as a person. You're going to be taking care of too much of them and not enough of yourself. When we have a Five of Pentacles situation, yes, this is, I need one or two cards to definitely say it's a karmic relationship, but this for sure is a hint of a karmic relationship. So we've got a karmic thing going on here, which is why you probably especially feel attached to them. But Five of Pentacles shows up when you're loving someone regardless. You kind of just can't help but see the best in people, want to be gentle, want to be understanding, and it is a beautiful trait, and I always want to make clear that you should keep being that way and find somebody who can appreciate and respect that about you. But the problem is, the more you dedicate yourself to them, the more you lose yourself in the process. Rose quartz pops up when we need to pay more attention to how amazing we are as people. Like, this is pops up saying, you're great, you're amazing. Have you checked in with yourself and realized that? And with the Temperance card, same concept, self-love, self-care, but not because you need it and anything, you need to work on anything. No, 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 no. You're great right now, as is. You're fine. You don't even need any more self-love or self-care. It's about checking in with yourself and saying, do they realize that? Are they going to get over their withholding to then accept that and allow that in their life? When are you going to stop and take a second look at yourself and go, I shouldn't have to deal with this. I'm pretty darn great. I'm pretty amazing. I should spend some time enjoying myself. If you're not going to enjoy me back and enjoy what I have to offer, I'm giving you that. If you're not going to receive what I have to give, then that says it all. You know what I mean? That's a huge reason why the whole commitment in reverse comes in. Now, keep in mind this. It does not say anywhere in the cards that that's it. This is the end. I just want to point that out. It doesn't say that this is someone going to keep coming into your life, and this is not that. I want to be clear about that as well. It's saying that if they can break through and they can actually hear what you have to say of saying, listen, this is who I am, take it or leave it, and they can break through this, because again, the Chariot doesn't necessarily mean it's the end, then, we'll see from there. But you're being forewarned that there's a very good chance they won't. And you have to ask yourself, is that what you want? Are you okay with that? Can you keep moving forward in the relationship knowing they're not going to let you past a certain point? Are you okay with the limitations? And I'm honestly a big believer of whatever works for you is what works for you. But you'll have to ask yourself that. Either way, that's what's going on. I feel so sad that I'm not getting any Lover's card that they're just straight up afraid of commitment, if that's any sort of reassurance. There's just a general fear of the act of truly being themselves and speaking honestly as themselves. And I think we can all feel for people when they're like that, because I think we've all been there at times in our life. So let's send them love and compassion and talk about how darn cool you are. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. Either way, have a lovely day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 2. Group number 2. Let's look at your love predictions by finding out what happens next by looking at the cards. Your cards are, we have Tiger Eye. I always say Tiger's Eye. What do you say? Tiger Eye, Tiger's Eye. Your Oracle card is Ride the Wave. Ooh, I don't want to read into this too quickly, but this is great. This is really, 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 really positive. Okay, I'm pumped. I'm excited for you. So let's look into this. Your tarot cards are Justice upright, Page of Cups upright. Oh, wow, the High Priestess upright. Five of Pentacles upright. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm getting the chills. And Knight of Swords in reverse. Wow. 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 Whoa. Wow. Wow, whoa, wow. I have so many awesome things to tell you, and I'm very excited about it. I will say now that something about this relationship feels extremely new. And Spirit is telling me some of you guys who picked this particular group are clicking this in a idea of you haven't met someone yet, but you're about to meet somebody and you're being told right now about them. I just want to put that out there because it's happening for the people that are in newer relationships and the people who are kind of curious, like what's going to happen next in general. So let's get into this because it's really good. Okay, so with the Justice card and the Five of Pentacles card, this is a karmic tie. You know, I always say, oh, well, I need to see a certain combination. This is the combination. This is a karmic, significant relationship. And this relationship is extremely deep and powerful. And I am really I'm getting the chills. I'm so excited for you. With the Ride the Wave card and the Tiger's Eye, something really magical is happening here too. This also adds to the whole karmic relationship. See, Ride the Wave is basically saying, listen, you've done enough work, everything's adding up now, just enjoy the ride. You're about to come into a time of abundance, a time of just easy peasy, lemon squeezy, easiness with love, easiness connecting with people. And that as you flow and everything feels effortless, and this relationship will feel effortless, I'm just telling you that right now, this card says, let them be around you and around your life because they are shaping you as a person. That's how significant this is. Sometimes people just have a karmic relationship and it's like, hey, what's up? We're meeting again in this lifetime and we feel connected. No. This person's going to influence and affect you in a really positive way. So this is going to be easy, fun. You're going to have a really great time with this person. And this is the result of all the hard work you've been doing, both in this lifetime and the past. Tiger's Eye is extremely positive because it asks the question, when we always say, well, someday I'm going to have this, someday I'm going to be with this person. This says someday is now. This is manifesting in current time. This is like asking for it in the moment and receiving it right away. This is really powerful, earthy, stable energy, which is really interesting because I'm pretty sure this is the desert flower jasper. Jasper's very earthly in a good way. It's keeping you grounded because you're going to need to be grounded as you experience these wonderful, powerful emotions. So I can tell over here with the Five of Pentacles, you've been through some relationships. Not horrible ones, but you tend to be so dedicated when you love someone. The term is loving people regardlessly. That, well, if they are not the best person for you, you kind of stick around longer than you should because that is just your sweet, loving nature, and that is not a bad thing. This person comes in like a knight in shining armor. They love this about you. It's like they're there to protect you from yourself. They're there to almost kind of fight back your past relationships, fight back the worst. It's like a metaphorical fight, if that makes sense. Like they're not going to go pick fights with your exes. It's just, it will feel very cathartic when they come into your life and they stand up for you the way they do. So they're going to come in fast, intense. They're going to approach you. It's going to be wonderful. But anyways, moving forward. The High Priestess card and the Page of Cups card talks about how incredibly open and loving this relationship is going to be. Expect a lot of late night, deep conversations, especially with the Page of Cups, a lot of late night phone calls in the beginning where you meant to get off the phone, but all of a sudden another 3 hours passes by and you're just open and honest. Yes, this does talk about, your instincts about them are correct. You feel like, oh, I can just trust them, but I seem to always trust somebody when I care about them. You can trust this person, and they can trust you. It's something really, 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 really special here. And I don't want to make any promises. I'm all about telling you what I see, but if I have to see the right combination of cards to say it for sure. But with the Justice card here, this does hint to this person being the person you marry, if that is something you're into. If it's not marriage, it's a very, very, very long lifetime commitment, if that makes sense. And it looks like they are the one that reaches out to you in order to ask that. And it does feel like even if, obviously, you meet, they're not going to be proposing to you right away, but it's this feeling of, it's almost like you're deeply committed to each other before anything's even begun. It's like an unspoken thing. And this is why I was going, wow, woo, wow. So in combination of everything else I was saying, if purple is spirituality and this like indigo is your like third eye, this is a super subconscious, inexplainable, words cannot describe why you're drawn to each other. And I'm talking about more than love at first sight. I'm talking about your best friend. I'm talking about someone you grow with spiritually. I'm talking about something you feel with every fiber of your being. And as you guys get together, and a lot of it doesn't make sense and feels serendipitous and synchronicities, and it just feels easy, but it's much stronger than what you would describe simply as love. It blooms. It flourishes. I can see here you're going to find a lot of grounding stability with them, which is really great. Again, we keep talking about that earthy tone. It's interesting. It's like you're being held down by the relationship in the sense of like it's keeping you stable, but then your head is just exploding with ideas and you're expressing yourself like wild. You're overcoming your past by expressing it to them. You're connecting with thoughts that needed to that can only exist as you expressed yourself. You know, when we talk and we start to think as we say things out loud, and we can organize our thoughts in that way. Very similar concept. I'm telling you, this is an extremely creative, inexplainable, powerful relationship. Honestly, from what I can see, you're just going to kind of sit back and relax, and they're going to be doing all the work via reaching out to you. A lot of letting you know how they feel. Just let it in. Just enjoy. Understand that it's shaping you. Go with it. It's all positive. And definitely don't be afraid to focus on what it is you want. You're receiving it, but understand, like, keep your messages of what you want with this relationship and in life very clear and direct, and keep it there and don't budge, and it's all going to come your way. This person already is the manifestation of that for all your hard work from the past, you're basically being told, but yeah, I cannot say enough positive things. Essentially, they're going to reach out to you. It's going to be great. They're going to kind of just dedicate their love to you really quickly. You're going to have a lot of open heart-to-hearts. Yeah, I don't really have anything more to say except it's really positive. Oh, I do want to mention Justice card is fantastic for when people understand each other and what they want from the other one and like what their roles are, equal amount of exchange in effort, love, attention. This is going to feel like a partnership. But like a power couple type thing. Trust me, everyone is going to know you guys as two halves of a whole. It's going to be very powerful and you're going to make everyone else jealous. So it's a very good thing. So I'm very excited for you. I'm happy for you. I wish I had a bigger vocabulary. I think you can understand from the way I'm emoting how insane this is, but this is the kind of love that is beyond the cosmos. Yeah, that's how I want to put it. So if you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to give it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Either way, have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next one, and let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3. Let's look at your love predictions and find out what happens next by looking at the cards. First, we have Sunstone. Your oracle card is Protecting Treasure upright. I have to look at the other cards, but this gives this card a totally different new meaning. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll get into that in a moment. So let's look at your rest of your cards. Your tarot cards are 4 of Cups upright, Ace of Wands in reverse, the Tower in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse, and your last card is Knight of Wands in reverse. Huh. I'm going to need to pull some more cards really quickly to understand what's going on with this Tower card in reverse over here before I say anything, because this, I feel like this means something else, but I just need to double check. Yeah, it's what I thought. Hold on, Spirit's telling me to pull more cards. What? Hold on. Oh. Okay, sorry. I'm not trying to obviously be that person that's oohing and eyeing and you don't know what's going on. We're gonna be going over all of this, but just to make it less confusing, I'm gonna push this off to the side. Wow, this is a lot. So let's get into this. So first off, I can see there's, let's talk about the motif in the thesis of the spread, which is protecting treasure and the sunstone. You'll understand in a second what I mean here when I say it takes on a new meaning. See, protecting treasure normally talks about, it's like a reassuring card. It says, listen, you're going to be going into some kind of riskier or what feels like scarier time in your life, and that's okay, because guess what? You're going to be safe. You're going to be all right. It's kind of like a reassurance card of like, we got to move forward in order to grow. Yeah, it's a little, scary looking, but you're going to be okay. So that's like a very comforting card that in the end of this situation, you're going to be all right no matter what. But it also talks about loyalty. It's like, now is the time to be loyal or find people that are loyal to you. So that very much insinuates like, oh, this is the person to be loyal to that we're talking about. You get what I'm saying. But Sunstone talks about breaking free, being aware that there are limitations and obstacles and overcoming them. This is about overcoming any sort of thing that's held you back, especially when it comes to past experiences and past wounds. This also pops up, I find, when you're connecting to someone that's either holding you back, like they're keeping you in a cage, very much like this person is protecting the treasure. You're the treasure, and that's nice to be protected, but it's telling you break free from that. But it also pops up when you're finally overcoming, like maybe you're dating the same type of person or find yourself in the same sort of dating situation over and over and over again is the best way I can put it. And this is saying that's going to end now, and this person is the definition of you breaking it. But again, does that mean that by dating this person, we're ending the cycle of the past experiences you've had? Or do you need to break free of this person? Are they accidentally holding you back and kind of caging you up? Is there some sort of thing you need to break free from? You'll get what I'm saying. So let's keep moving forward. Over here, we get a bit of a boredom thing going on in the relationship. The Four of Cups is kind of like someone who's not only bored in the relationship, but they're not really quite sure what they want. So it's not just them being incompatible for you or bored of you because you're doing anything wrong. It's kind of like both of you are not really sure what to do to spice up the relationship. Ace of Wands shows there's a lack of passion going on in the relationship. Both of these cards, though, do insinuate this concept is temporary and can be, something you overcome if you guys address it and deal with it. But the interesting thing is they're not facing each other. It's like you guys aren't aware that there's no more passion going on in this relationship. So how can you understand that that's the very thing that's kind of fueling and causing the boredom over here? But I think on the other hand, if we see water kind of taking out fire and the flame, I don't know if it would make a difference. It's the other way. It's kind of a clash either way, but not necessarily a definitive note of the end. Now, this is where it got a little confusing and I pulled some more cards. Because we have this tower moment, but the tower in reverse can mean a bunch of different things. In some rare cases, and I do want to point out rare, it can talk about the idea of some sort of a breakup. But I'm just not feeling like that's what it's saying. The Tower card is when you break free of long-term problems that you finally overcome. Again, we talk about a repeating cycle you've experienced in previous relationships, something that's held you back for a long time. You're finally going to be free of it. So that's good. You're going to be breaking free of it. But still the question's up in the air. Because you're dating this person? Or by no longer dating this person, this is the last person in your cycle, if that makes sense. But it also talks about, I just want to mention two things here. I don't feel this one as much, but I'm just going to mention it because this is a general reading and some of you might be interested. Sometimes this is when somebody's hiding a problem and they're not talking about it. That's important to know. It can potentially pop up when we have both the Knight of Wands talking about somebody who has who's really excited to go out and do things and date people, but ends up kind of being flaky because they don't really have a clear perspective or energy direction where they want to go. They're kind of scatterbrained. Same thing with the Page of Wands in reverse. This is when someone kind of dips out on you or cancels plans with you. Doesn't mean cancels and breaks up with you, but it seems like whatever's here in the Tower, they seem to kind of want to run away from. So the Tower card over here can also imply when something else is happening to somebody you guys both know and you guys actually grow closer together. That's kind of what fuels the passion of you guys getting together because you work together to help this other person. But here's the thing. It could go either way. Again, this is a general reading. This could be the passion fueling, you guys meet somebody and you guys work together and that's what gets you guys together again and makes you feel closer. But the way these cards are kind of running away from the Tower, it's almost like this person you're dating is kind of subconsciously aware that things aren't going great with the relationship, and you might start saying, oh, I don't know if this is going great. And as you address this, they want to run away from this. They want to keep you distracted from this. They want to pull your attention away from you facing this, because by you overcoming this long-standing issue you've had in other relationships, it might involve not being with them anymore or facing problems they don't want to face. You want to face them and overcome them, but they don't want to. Again, they're not personally trying to do anything negative to you. They're not a bad person. None of this is about anyone doing anything bad in the relationship. This is your personal self-discovery. You see what I'm saying? But they can be kind of accidentally keeping you in a cage by, as we talked about for the reasons just a moment ago. I want to prevent myself from repeating myself too often. So I pulled a couple cards. And the thing is, this implies that you have to go back to the beginning in order to finish the cycle and kind of move forward. It's kind of like looking backwards in order to look forwards. What is happening in this relationship that was probably something the first time you ever experienced it with maybe this could be a first relationship. This could be maybe it started with one past partner and you've just been noticing it going on and on and on for a while. What was the first problem? This is like you addressing it, facing it. I can tell you're not afraid to face it anymore. You're not afraid to talk about it, but it's about a certain self-discovery. I can see with the Ace of Cups, it looks like this relationship is you acknowledging it happening in this relationship and kind of realizing in the long term, this isn't the partner for you for this very reason. And with the Star of Card kind of representing positive, unexpected change, it feels like there's someone really special for you waiting around the corner. And you look like you're going to really naturally flow with them. It's going to be a very happy, optimistic relationship. It's going to be you breaking free of what we've talked about several times by now in the spread. Again, outside of this relationship. This other person wants to be that person for you, but I just kind of by destiny and stuff like that, they're just not. Sometimes things just unfortunately don't mash up. No one's doing anything wrong. It just works out that way. And it feels like that's naturally happening. Now, I'm not saying to you, oh, you're going to break up. I'm just saying I have a very good feeling you're going to on your own make that decision. And I'll tell you right now, someone's coming around the corner that's super special, and I think you're going to be really happy with the results of this next relationship after this one. And this is where I got a little bit confused when I pulled some more cards. So it looks like this person is working really hard to be with you. They're trying to get sort of a win for you guys. It's what can we do that we can both bond, break the boredom, feel closer together? Again, we talk about the Tower card and stuff like that. They're trying to grow and find a reason to get together, but this is the version of you growing. You'd start to say to yourself, why do we need a win? Why can't this relationship be easy? And you start kind of asking yourself those questions. I can see over here there is going to be some sort of break initially, not a breakup, but I just need some time to think. And you're going to be the one asking that. Again, doesn't mean the end. It's just some time to figure out who you are as an individual without them. And I definitely think that that's going to bother them and they're going to hold on to a little too long, again, because what you're dealing with are your own personal, self-discovery and self-help and self-care and self-love, and you're doing all the right things you need to do for you, and there's a lot of positivity coming your way. But I can see here in the Ten of Swords, you are dodging a bullet by potentially in the long run not being with this person. It looks like it's going to be messy when you guys break up. I don't think they're going to take it well. I think they're going to be pretty upset. They're really into you. And you want to be into them, but they are, you know, unfortunately for them, a representation of things you've experienced in the past, and you're done with it. You don't want this anymore. You are somebody who wants naturally to feel passion for their partner. You want things to feel smooth and easy. You don't want to feel somebody who, you know the best way to put it, do you ever find yourself accidentally feeling like a stereotype? Or you feel yourself, you know, maybe you compare yourself to your parents, or you're like, oh my gosh, is this the person I've become? It's like when you're in a relationship and you find yourself asking those questions, you don't want to be that person anymore. You want to be you. The person who's amazing and who's dating this other amazing person and everyone admires and it's cool, and you're kind of awakening to that and realizing it, you're just not going to have it with this person. Again, they're going to hold on, they're going to try to distract you, they're going to try to hold you down, but none of this is scary. They're not dangerous, they mean well. They're going to be okay in the end, but yeah, definitely understand it just sometimes is the way the cookie crumbles. But I think you know that. You're much more self-empowered than you are aware, and you're coming into that, and I'm excited for you. It feels great to feel confidence. Anyways, I am wishing you the best. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please consider giving this video a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Either way, have a beautiful day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4. Let's look at your love predictions and find out what happens next by looking at the cards. We have, spirit quartz. I actually really want to get some spirit quartz. This is fantastic and really beautiful in person. Your oracle card is Strength, upright. Your tarot cards are the Devil, upright. 4 of Pentacles, upright. 9 of Swords in reverse. 7 of Wands in reverse. And 3 of Wands upright. Wow. This is wild. The reason why I say this is wild is, yes, there are some things we have to talk about, but there's also a positive connotation that's going on here, but we'll get into that in a moment, but you wait and see. So let's first talk about the thesis or motif of the spread, which is going on right down here with these 2 cards. So we have the Strength card. This pops up when things are happening where you're like kind of testing the boundaries and the relationship in general, whether that be through conversations, maybe you guys go through some experiences together, whatever it is, it might feel a little rough, might be a little uncomfortable, but this is happening in order to strengthen your relationship, build this deep sort of bond, but a big one is just asking, hey, this is what I would like for the future. Are you down with it too? Like, it's just kind of like put up or shut up, so to speak. So this has a lot of positive omens in the future that like you guys are going to get closer, so to speak. And it's really wild what's going on here, but we'll talk about that more in a second. Now, Spirit Quartz is really sweet because it talks about harmony, community, and universal love. Now, this pops up in readings for 2 reasons. One, it talks about the idea of a healthy relationship. That's important for you to be aware of when you are in one and that you would like one. Most people do. That's really important when we talk about the Devil, but don't worry, we're going to expand upon that. There's something important here we're going to talk about. But this also pops up when you and your partner should consider exploring and getting deeper into the idea of love outside of romantic love. Yes, you can totally have that. But in addition to that, there's so many different types of forms, and your relationship would benefit having all the different types. It's like when you love them as like a deep friend as well. When you love them as almost like a teacher, or like somebody who's mentoring and teaching you something, or you love them because you're doing the same for them. Whatever it is, There's a multifaceted thing going on between the two of you, but this pops up when the romantic love is like way too above everything else, and you guys would benefit by having a little bit of a harmony and balance by also having all the other versions we talked about kind of, it's like you've got a bowl, and in that bowl is just strawberries. But wouldn't your smoothie taste better if you also had bananas and mangoes and maybe some lemonade in there? You know what I mean? It's all adding to and benefiting the relationship as a whole. So that's something important to keep in mind as you, like we talked about, testing things, growing and expanding. It's like you guys are definitely going through a transitory time in your relationship, especially when I see the Three of Wands popping up here. So now, going forward, I see there's a bit of an unhealthy connotation to this relationship going on, especially when I see these three cards. Now, this is a general reading, so everyone's version of what is not healthy is like, they got their own thing going on, you know what I mean? It can be defined in a multitude of ways. But the main thing is, this could be anything from somebody's obsessing over the other partner too much. This is when your partner's like really clingy to you, and then the next they're ghosting you and not talking to you. It's especially, I say that especially with the Four of Pentacles popping up. It's just like an up and down roller coaster, and sometimes it can be about being too close to each other and maybe too romantic to the point that, again, you're not letting in all the different facets that you could use. There feels like a form of isolation, and we're going to come back to that concept of isolation and community in a moment, especially with the Spirit Quartz coming up and what's going on over here, but we'll get to that in a moment. And then that's when we get the Four of Pentacles. This is when one of you guys, and I do say one of you, normally I can pinpoint it to the partner or you, because this is a general reading, and what Spirit's making me feel is for many of you, it's one or the other, and it's kind of bouncing back and forth between, everybody. Somebody is holding back their emotions, how they feel, what they have to say. There's a sort of closed gate door, and we talked about testing things. That door needs to be broken, because that's how you guys are going to get deeper. That's how you're building that next layer of trust. That's the wall that needs to come down. And I can't quite tell if you're the one that needs to have the walls come down or they do. Either way, the wall is up due to the unhealthy relationship both of you are perfectly aware is happening right now. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the end. I do want to point that out. But I can see over here in the Nine of Swords, this is one more thing that's kind of causing, it's kind of like a chicken and the egg of what's causing what and what came first. But the Nine of Swords is when somebody in the relationship is becoming so stressed out and overwhelmed by all of this, it's causing them to kind of have a doom and gloom and think the worst before it even could possibly happen. And it doesn't even necessarily mean it's going to happen. When you get the Nine of Swords in reverse, this is somebody worrying about you guys one of you guys worrying that the other one's going to break up or leave the other one, or just other worst case scenarios. And it's like you're already anticipating something, but guess what? That hasn't happened. It doesn't even mean it's going to happen. You may think that you have proof, but no, this is just in your head, and you need to let up a little bit, or they need to. Remember, I'm not quite sure who I'm connecting with in this particular situation. Either way, the stress causes the other one to feel closed up, and then you guys feel so connected to each other because you're really like romantically in love with each other. So it kind of causes you to get back and forth with this ditching each other, getting back together, which then causes the stress to reassure their anxieties, and this goes back and forth and around and around. A lot of it's done because you care about each other so much, even the bad stuff. There's a lot of love here. But here's the thing. We have the Seven of Wands. This basically says, guess what? It's going to be okay. But you're going to need to fight a little harder. Get out of your comfort zone and go to them. You're going to need to let them know that you want them. You're going to need to let them know that you're going to fight for them no matter what. And there's a feeling of you really needing to be the one to go to them, and them subconsciously needing to see you to do that in order to feel that, like if they're the one closing up, to feel like they can open up. Or if you're the one closed up and you're saying, listen, I'm willing to open up to you, but this is why I'm feeling like I got to close up. This is them, not feeling so worried that you're going to close up. Do you see what I'm saying? It's an act of saying, listen, I'm putting a line in the sand, but I also want you to be on my side of the line. We're in this together. I want you to know where I stand, what I want. Guess what? I'm fighting for us. That's the main message they need to see from you, is that you are fighting for them. Now over here with the Three of Wands, this lets us know that this kind of crazy mess that's going on is about breaking free and resetting this unhealthy chain of events that's going on. But the thing that's interesting here is by breaking them, by going into some uncomfortable areas, by fighting for them, because fighting for you to fight for them is also uncomfortable for you too. This is you guys getting into that zone in order to build stronger bonds. In order to break this, there's too high of a level of romantic love. You guys would really do well and feel more comforted, both of you, if you understood all the different versions and how they all relate to you. You're capable of all of them, and you deserve them, and you're going to experience an even deeper level of love, like we talked about, even deeper ties, even closer connections. But you guys need to take some time to do some activities that also incorporate these other ideas. But last but not least, when we have the Three of Wands over here talking about you guys being in a transitory place, trying to figure out what's going on to get things more clearly defined so you guys don't always feel like it's an up in the air of if someone's going to leave someone type of feeling. The Three of Wands and Spirit both Spirit Courts talk about you guys needing to be more social outside of the relationship. Now, it doesn't mean you guys can't be a partnership and then go out and socialize with other people. You totally can. Go for it. Have a good time. But you guys would benefit from breaking free of, consider your relationship like tunnel vision. And you kind of need to open that peripheral vision in order to grow as a person. And it's the best way I can put it is you don't need to go to your friends and say, what do you think? That's not the problem here. Just know, when you get time from yourself and then that sometimes solves the problem, it's like as you guys get time away from the problems, every time you come back together, you feel a little more like yourselves and you don't get warped into this cycle. And I don't mean time apart. Like I said, it's just about being social and still being in a relationship. And you're welcome to go be social with a group of friends together. Go for it. You guys deserve some fun, okay? You love each other. You're just kind of a little bit both messes right now. And seriously, work for this. I'm not saying, despite all this is not a breakup. This is a good growing process for you guys to overcome this together and better understand one another. And you both deserve it. You guys love each other. You're just driving each other a little nuts right now. And don't worry, this isn't forever. This is just temporary. But get excited to feel like that much more of the next level of you to fight for them, the next level of themselves to feel more open and break free of these things. There is a bright, even deeper love you're about to share with this person. And I'm so excited for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Either way, have a lovely day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And yeah, bye.